Hi guys, good morning. Sorry, I'm a few minutes late. Bit manic here this morning. How are you all? Hope you're okay. What day is it today? Thursday. Happy Thursday, everybody. We had a video with Kitty yesterday. She was showing you how to string some beads onto tiger tail. She had amazing hematite fans, really beautiful beads. It was a super busy one. Good morning, Michelle. Hi, Kitty. Oh, am I still live? It's just done a funny thing on the screen. I think we're back. Are we back? I think so. Sorry, internet might be playing up this morning. Hi, good morning, everyone. Oh, I can see comments coming in. Okay, I think we're okay. Hi, good morning, Judith. Morning, Sam. Judith, that was a mixture between Jane and Ruth. Sorry, guys. Morning, Jane and Ruth. I am a bit higgledy-pickledy today, as you can tell. So I'm going to show you some amazing special beads today and how to make a multi-wear necklace. Now, I'm going to be crocheting, so something very different. I do have to warn you, John is on his way home. He's been having van troubles for a couple of weeks. As you know, he works away a week at a time, and his van broke down when he got onto site last week. So he's been recovered this morning. His shift finished at 6 o'clock this morning. So somewhere in between Reading and home in Lincolnshire, he's on a lorry getting towed home. He might come home during the live, I'm sorry, in which case there's going to be dogs, barking, mayhem, just the usual you have come to expect from being in my home some mornings. So hopefully we'll be okay, I'm not sure. Right, so I'm going to show you how to crochet, and we have the most amazing beads this morning. So far, Earl is behaving, so let's hope we have a good day. I'm going to show you how to use some beautiful tiger eye beads, and I'm going to turn you down in a moment so you can look at them. But what we're going to do is crochet them onto some metallic strands. So it gives you the most beautiful finish and multi-wear necklaces. So this one that I have on is using the brown tiger eye. I've put it onto a gold metallic thread. But it's multifunctional. So you can either have it so that you have a real choker piece up at the top and a longer piece. You can adapt it so that you have a longer multi-row, sorry. So depending on what neckline you are wearing. And then somewhere along the way here, I've actually attached a clasp onto this one. I'll find it in a sec, hold on. I've had to attach a clasp on because I wanted to get the most out of the strands. Where on earth is the clasp? I wanted to get the most out of the strands. So here we go. I didn't actually use all of them. So I'm using my tiger eye beads, and I've got them in a 4, a 6 and an 8 mil. Now these aren't inexpensive beads. This is definitely a more expensive make. I've put the link to them on the description of the video. So on your 4 mil strands, they're actually 15-inch strands, so super long. But can you see here, this is my, I can't call it a lariat because I have put a clasp on it, but you can wear it as a lariat. So I've done a choker on a longer, a double strand. You can have it longer, or you can actually even knot them like so, just to get a bit more detail in there as well. So choker, multi, lariat, knotted, 4 ways so far. They're fantastic and really durable. So I'm going to show you all of the beads. Now they're 15-inch strands. On the 4 mil, you will get approximately 90 beads. On your 6 mil, you'll get approximately 60 beads. And on your 8 mil, you'll get approximately 45 beads. So you have hundreds of beads to start working with. They are absolutely stunning. So this one, what do you get? It's about 26, 30-ish pound make, depending on your findings and your thread and your crochet hook. But I think you'll agree it's totally worth it. And of course, it's going to last you because there's so many different looks that you can create with it. Okay, so I am going to turn you over because I'm dying to show you these beads. They're absolutely gorgeous. This is the blue one that I was just showing you, and I really hope the video is going to pick up the finish of the tiger eye as well. Absolutely stunning. So a lot of them are actually dyed just to enhance the colour, but they are a semi-precious beads, which will tiger eye, and they're so cooling to touch. When I put my necklace on this morning, it just felt lovely against my skin because, of course, they are a semi-precious bead. Now, you've got your dark navy blue. Now, I have married all of these up, and I'm going to be using the metallic threads. And we have, the gold is what I've used with my brown. The two silvers, I was going to marry those up to probably the lighter silver with the black. This one goes really nice with the green. And then I've used the royal blue with the blue tiger eye. The turquoise I'm going to use with the turquoise, and purple is what I'm going to be using today to go with the pink beads. So colours that will match all of them, which will be really lovely. I'm going to try and catch up on all your comments in a minute. I'm desperate to show you the beads because I want you to get them. I'm not sure how long the stocks are going to last of these. Okay, so, oh my goodness, look at these. This is the lighter blue. So you've got your royal blue. This is the lighter blue. You get your 4, 6 and 8 mil. And like I said, on the... Let me do it in order. On the 8 mil, you've got approximately 45 beads. They're 15-inch strands, so super long. Come to you on the thread knotted up. You've got 60 beads of your 6 mil approximately, and then 90 of your 4 mil. So if you want to use these to do tiger tail bracelets, you can. Kitty showed you how to do tiger tail yesterday. So using your culottes and crimp beads. Look at these. They're actually a lot brighter than they're showing up on the camera. But look at the effect you're getting. The movement in them is absolutely stunning, which is why I actually used them in a really simple technique, because when you are using, excuse me, what's going on today? When you're using beads that are this beautiful, you don't need to use them in complicated designs. You just let them do the talking. I'll show you my necklace again in a minute. This is the black, which is stunning. So it has a real grey tinge running through, that marble feature that you get in the tiger eye. So can you see there? This is the effect you're getting, and you have that movement on them. If you haven't seen tiger eye before, that is the effect. And then these ones, I know you guys are going to love these. This is in the purple pink. So you've got really beautiful deep tones in there, as well as gorgeous little flecks of real fuchsia. So I'm going to use these with the purple one today. So I'm going to show you how to prep your cord and then how to crochet. So because I've got a lot more of you than I had a minute ago, I'm just going to show you my necklace. We're going to crochet it onto, so I'm wearing the brown. I'll take this off actually because I'll show you. And even though I've knotted this, it's really simple to undo. So I showed you just at the beginning of the video. I'm just going to take the clasp off and show you. I showed you at the beginning video how to wear it 4 different ways. And as we go on, I will... I'll put this one on when we're finished as well. Now, there are a few extra things. I'm very conscious. If you're spending this much money on beads, you are going to want to have some amazing findings to go with it as well. So this is the brown one that I was wearing, and I've put that on the gold metallic thread. Now, we have some sterling silver spacer beads and findings. I'm going to use these. These sterling silver spacers have... almost like a stardust finish to them. So they are super, super sparkly. I'm going to use these to make a matching ring in our purple beads with just some stretch elastic. We also have some that are just a true silver finish. These are all in sterling silver. If you do want to add a clasp, we've got lots of bar toggle clasps as well. But this one is what I'm going to use today. And I'm going to add it on. Now, it doesn't need a clasp because, as I said, it's a multi-wear. Look at this sterling silver clasp. You get the 2 bits and pieces, 2 ends. This one is your flower, and it's got beautiful etched detail inside the flower. This is the other side of the clasp. Wait till you see how cool this is. So you will attach it onto your strand on both sides, and then it interlocks into the flower like that. Isn't that gorgeous? Really, really beautiful. You can add this as a lovely feature detail on your bracelets or your necklaces. When you're using beads like this, it's going to be absolutely stunning. And then, of course, it will make it adjustable as well. Okay, so that is all my special bits and pieces that I have to show you. Now we're going to prep our cords. So I'm going to do it on a different one. Let's do it on the turquoise. Really sorry about my voice today. Bit croaky. Okay, so I just used my clear nail polish. Clear nail polish, you can use a glue as well, but clear nail polish I found dries super, super quickly, and it's something that we probably all have. Take your thread and just sit it in the nail polish. Sit it there for a couple of seconds and let that soak in. What this is going to do, you'll find that the metallic threads do fray quite a lot. You can see the end here, but they are super beautiful to work with. It does fray quite a lot, so I just want to reinforce this end and I want to give it a needle-like point so that I can turn this into my needle to thread our beads on, especially when you're working with the 4mm beads because they are teeny tiny. I've let that soak in. I'm just going to give it a little twist, and can you see that it's already gone rigid? Okay, it's gone quite hard. Sometimes I will triple dip these. It just depends how this will dry. Allow that to sit and dry, and then re-dip it again if you need to. So with my purple one here, you can see that your thread is flexible down at the end, but where I've got this needle-like tip, once it's dry, you can then take your scissors, cut at an angle, and that is going to give you a perfect needle ready to thread your beads on. So these are the ones that I've been working on. I'm going to move you up a little bit because I'm going to start crocheting in a minute and I want you to see what I'm doing. So with my blue one, I'll show you the comparison with the blue and the brown one that I made in a moment, because I kept some beads aside. I have already set aside beads here to make a ring, probably got enough there to make a bracelet as well. On your 4mm you do get 90 beads, so measure up a bracelet or a ring. I'm going to do it in stretch elastic using the Stardust sterling silver spacer beads as well. The rest of them I have put my entire strands on. Now when you're threading on these beads are fantastic when you're working with the larger ones. When you're working with the smaller ones, it can get quite hard to find the hole. So I hold them in between my index finger and my thumb, and if you pick them up in the wrong position and you can't see the hole, just roll it around your finger until you find the hole, and then you can thread it straight on. So your prepping process is probably the bit that's going to take, well, in fact, it is the bit that's going to take you the longest. Prepping that thread and then threading your beads on individually. So as you can see, you just pick them up, roll them around your finger until you find the hole and thread it straight on. Right, whilst I'm prepping this for crocheting, tiger eye is a stone for healing stress, so good for current times, if you're into gemstone properties, that is. Do you know what? I didn't know that, and I tell you what, I'm going to wear my necklace for the next 3 weeks. That is not going to come off my neck today. Yeah, I think semi-precious beads, if you believe in sort of healing qualities, to be honest, even if you don't and you're just going to wear them and they look beautiful, anything that you can get from these at the moment is going to be fantastic, isn't it? And what a beautiful gift as well. I know it's a bit more of an expensive make because we are using really precious beads, and they are expensive, you know, compared to some of our glass beads or you know, our crystals and our pearls, but I think when you get quality like this, and also if you can give it a bit of special meaning, I certainly don't mind paying that little bit extra. And when you're doing something like this, what a gorgeous gift. Imagine sending this to someone at the moment with just a little description of maybe the qualities of tiger eye beads. I think that's going to be really special. And the great thing is, whether you have been beading for 18 years like I have, or 18 days, it doesn't matter, because this is going to be super easy for you to make. Super easy. Don't even need any tools. The only thing we're going to use is a crochet hook. Now, I'll show you the difference between the two sizes. Nikki says, would love to show you the Tiger's Eye memory wire bracelet I made last night. Oh yeah, Nikki, send us pictures. Send it on the Totally Beads page or on my page and we'll share it. If you join the Totally Handmade group, sorry guys, if you join the Totally Handmade group on our Facebook page, everyone goes on there and shares all their pictures. So yes, please, because I know we'd all love to see it. Okay, so the difference in the crochet hook sizing, if you have a look at this one, then these are a lot closer together. It's a lot more rigid and you can't particularly see my thread. So when you actually look at the Tiger Eye beads, they're almost just suspended on the cord itself. Chef says, OMG, my late mum used to crochet these and then she'd stitch it around a scarf. I have the samples she made. It was well known in Turkey and Cyprus. Oh, Chef, please pop that on the handmade group as well. I'd love to see. Camille says, I bought a lot of Tiger Eye jewellery back with me from Hong Kong. Love them. Oh, amazing. Yeah, they're super stunning. Okay, so smaller crochet hook is going to give you tighter loops and your beads are going to be more suspended. A slightly larger crochet hook is going to give you a little bit more of an open weave. So you can see that the thread is a little bit more visible. You get a much looser finish. Now this one, I haven't actually, let me turn you around. This brown one, as I was wearing a moment ago, as you can see, I had to pop on a clasp so that I could get a double strand around. The blue one, look at how long this is. This is all 3 strands all together. I wonder if I could actually triple wrap it. No, that's not going to go around my head. So you can do double strand straight over, which will give you a double loop. You can pull it so you get a choker and a slightly longer lariat, or then you can, well, you could adapt that to any length, or you can put it on super long. And as you can see, I'm being quite rough with them. Although you might get the beads wrapping around each other like this sometimes, you can be quite tough with them. And then I like to wear it so that you also then do a knot in it. And then you've got a nice longer knotted one as well, and that can move. So your 3 strands are going to create an incredibly long necklace. Right, let's show you how to make it then. Okay, so I've prepped all of my beads. All of my beads are now onto my thread. I've still got my thread on the spool. I've got all 3 strands, bar a few beads that I am saving for a ring that we're going to make. I'm actually going to use the larger crochet hook because I want to gain a little bit more length out of it as well. Angela says, I've made these before. I don't crochet, but I did manage that. Yeah, absolutely. I can't crochet, although I am about to do it. This is the only way. I actually only learnt to crochet making these necklaces. So it is only a single stitch or a chain stitch. I can't crochet any other. I was thinking to myself, oh, now I can do this. You know, I'll be able to make toys for my nephews and all sorts. Can't do it. Can't get my head around anything else. Okay, so what I've done, I've tied a knot just in case anything comes undone and that will stop my beads. And then I've tied a knot, but I haven't secured it. So I've left a larger gap. I am using a 4 1/4 or 6.5 crochet hook. My smaller one is 2.5 mil. Okay. So that will give you the difference. I also have a much bigger one that I like to use as well if I'm using any larger beads. If it was only 8 mil and bigger, I'd use a larger one. Okay, so I've kept my loop and my crochet hook is going to sit in there. And then the beads I've got on the strand and I'm just going to bring them up. So I will bring up a bead. I'm going to hold it in place with my finger, and your first couple will be annoying, but then when we get going, it'll be fine. So I've got my crochet hook on the side facing towards me. I'm going to take my thread around the back. I'm then going to hold that bead in place. And then this loop that we created at the very beginning, I'm just going to open it up ever so slightly. And once you've done your first one, you're going to be good. I'm going to turn the hook down to grab hold of that thread I've just gone around the back with and bring that through the loop. Okay, if I pull that a little bit tightly, what you will see is that that bead is now captured in my stitch. Okay, and then you just keep on going. So bring a bead up, thread around the back, hold that bead in place, turn your hook down and go through the loop that is around your crochet hook. I'm just going to move these beads down because I need a little bit more thread to work with. And because I've left it on the spool, I can just keep on bringing those threads, the bead down towards the spool and keep on going. So bring a bead up, let that bead drop down, hold on to your bead, turn your hook down and through we go. And then the tighter your tension, the neater your beads are going to be. You can see, you can tighten it up there as well. I hope you guys can see okay and that you're managing to see what I'm doing. So let's keep on going. If your loop gets bigger, you can pull this down. You can see that when you pull that, it's going to make your thread tighter. Kitty's just popped up a link to the Tiger Eye beads. We've got several colours. As you can see, I'm using the purple one on the purple metallic thread. We've also got the green, the blue, the brown and the black, which are absolutely beautiful. And something like this is going to give you a really special piece of jewellery and let the beads do the talking. When you're using really precious beads like these, I like to keep the techniques nice and simple. But I want to be able to, if I'm going to spend, you know, like 25, 30 pounds on a necklace, I want to be able to wear it a lot. So that's why I've made it multifunctional. Okay, so once you get going, bring up a load of beads, drop your bead down, and you can see I'm holding the leftover beads in my hand. I'm pulling that hook, turning the hook down, pulling it through the loop, and your beads are there ready for the next one. So you can actually get into a nice little swing, a nice little motion, bringing those beads up and getting them on. So again, I'm just going to give myself some more thread. The spools that your thread comes on actually have these little hooks as well. So make sure that you put that in, which will stop a lot of your thread coming off. And once you get going, it really doesn't take too long. I was sat in the garden yesterday making these, prepping up the strands. Prepping it and threading your beads on is what takes the longest, to be honest with you. Once you actually get into crocheting it, it's really, really simple. And you can see the strands that we're beginning to create. So really lovely bobble effect. And they're going to be so cool to wear as well because we're using those semi-precious beads. And I think matching the colour thread, or the thread colour, to the colour of your beads just gives it that extra little pop of colour as well. Really enhances it. The gold that I used with the brown, I think is really lovely because it also matches. I wear quite a lot of gold and rose gold jewellery, so it goes really well with that. I'd love this metallic thread in a rose gold, Kitty, if you're still watching. I'm going to put an order in. next time you're ordering, get some nice rose gold or a copper, which will be lovely. Marie's saying it's nice and easy. Yeah, it really is very, very simple, but I think you'll agree the end results are really beautiful. I'm not sure if you're going to get a bit bored just watching me do this. I've got quite a few beads to do. I just wanted to show you how I'm going to attach the thread on as well. So if you slip through, Kitty says anything in rose gold for you. Absolutely, rose gold all the way. If you slip through, so you can see that all that's holding this in place is the loop. So if you go wrong or you want to tighten anything up, you can actually undo it very simply. And to position yourself back in, you'll just pop your crochet hook back through those loops. But it does also mean that if you don't secure it in place properly at the end, one tug and your entire necklace will come undone. Speaking from experience. So you want to make sure that you're going to secure it properly at the end. Also really handy if you are hypersensitive, if you've got hypersensitive skin and you can't wear any metal findings, making a lariat like this, you don't need to put a clasp on. So you can make it super long, so it just goes over your head, as I demonstrated. Just over your head, you don't need any findings, and that way you've only got the thread and the beads, which will be great. Marcia says loves rose gold. Yeah, I do too. Absolutely love it. I've got the rings that I wear. I've got my engagement ring and my wedding ring are in rose gold. And then I've got an eternity ring from my husband that was rose gold, but over the years it's kind of it's just the diamonds that show through now. I've got my lovely rose gold. That's a Links of London one. But this one is my most precious one. This ring was given to my mum for her 21st birthday. She's now in her 60s. I'm sure she won't mind me saying. And she gave it to me. But it's got gold, silver and rose gold. So I absolutely love mixing all of my metals. I wear rose gold and silver. And gold, actually, all of them, but rose being my main go-to, I guess. But yeah, the little wishbone one from Mum is just absolutely stunning. Unfortunately, it doesn't fit it well. Fortunately for me, it doesn't fit her anymore, and it fits on my thumb, and I absolutely love it. So mixed metals are definitely, I mean, considering how long ago that was. I think it's a super on-trend ring for now as well. It's obviously a bit of a timeless piece, but mixing the metals is something that was relatively new the last couple of years, mixing them all up. You didn't have to choose between just one. It's a quick way of attaching beads onto fabric. Oh, I think, replying to somebody else. Yeah, so this is a really nice way of making your strands. We're gaining quite a lot of length. Still been going. I hope you're not too bored. Shall I just keep on going so we can do the whole necklace? It won't take me too long. It's also a really nice one to do on the move as well. So if you are, I mean, obviously you're not going to be travelling anywhere at the moment, but Kitty was saying yesterday she might go and sit down on the beach and do a little bit of beading, sitting in the garden. It's something that's really portable, and you can just prep all of your beads and take them with you wherever it may be, into the garden. And Natalie says, keep on going, enjoying it. Did you go random for the bead order and the pattern? Actually, yes, I did. I find it quite hard to do random. So what I actually do is decant all of the beads from the threads that they come in. Just make a pile like I had at the beginning when I was adding them on. And then sort of organised random, if you like. I try to vary between the 3 sizes as much as I can. Can you see, look, I've got like 2, 4, a 6, an 8, 2, 4. Obviously, you have more 4s than anything else. So I have tried to spread out the 8 between the 6s and the 4s. So I did add on more 4s than anything. But then also it's the 4s that I've kept aside to make the ring with as well. So we're going to make a matching ring with this one. We'll finish it off with our sterling silver clasp, just for a little bit of difference. And then I'm going to add on those sterling silver spaces as well. Now, you see, my hands are quite hot, so some of the colour is actually coming off of the metallic thread, which is why my fingers are going a little bit pinker. It's not coming off the beads, it's just the thread. The sun is actually coming out now, which is nice. It started raining just before I started doing the video, which I was a bit gutted about. Poor John, bless him. He's really hurt his neck. He's been having a terrible week. The van broke down a couple of weeks ago when he was picking up his daughter. He managed to get from Reading to pick up his daughter. Van broke down when he picked her up, and they managed to get recovered and brought back home. We got the van into a garage. Obviously, hardly any garages were open. Managed to find one locally. Said they'd fixed the problem. Paid for a new battery and a new service. Said they'd fixed it. Got the van back. Off John goes to work. Gets onto site. He actually pulled up just outside the gates of the compound that he was working on. And then it wouldn't start. So he had to push the van. And this is like a, I don't know, like 3.5 ton van, something like that. He pushed it onto site, bless him. So now he's really hurt his neck and his shoulder because it didn't have power steering or anything. And he managed to get it on. How? I have no idea. So when he comes home today, I said, oh, it's going to be really nice weather. I'll tidy up the garden. We'll have a barbecue. I'll make you some cocktails in the afternoon. I'll do it like a little staycation. And then we had a beautiful holiday in Corfu a few years back. And he absolutely loved the sort of koftas and kebabs that we had down on the beach. So I said, I'll do as a little staycation at home and we'll replicate being on holiday. You can have a cocktail and I'll make you these kebabs. Started raining. I was thinking, oh no, it's going to be rubbish. We're going to be stuck inside all day. But I think the sun is coming out. Alicia says, morning, Sarah. Was on a Zoom meeting with the school. I'll have to watch a recording this afternoon. Oh, amazing. So are you a teacher? Are you managing to still do some classes and everything from home? I know Beth, my stepdaughter, she is now doing live lessons, which is really good. It took them quite a while to get going with everything. They were just kind of left to their own devices for a few weeks, which did encourage a bit of laziness, but I'm really glad to see that they've got these classes going now, which is nice. She's in year 10, so it's a really important time, but I know it must be so hard for everybody. Maria says, just joined. Morning, everyone. What's the thread you're using, please? This is the metallic thread from the Totally Beads website. It's got a beautiful sheen to it. We've got loads of colours and you'll be able to marry them up to your tiger eye beads. I'm crocheting onto the thread. We've pre-threaded our tiger eye beads, which is the main focus of today. Gorgeous semi-precious beads, 15-inch strands, and I'm using them in 3 sizes. So I've got a 4, a 6 and an 8 mil. I'm just doing a single crochet onto the strands of thread, and then we're going to make a lovely lariat, which is a multi-wear. So when you watch the video back, you'll see that you can actually wear these in 4 or 5 different ways. So you're going to make the most of your special beads. You'll be able to wear it with any neckline, hopefully any outfit. Just pick your favourite colour. If you want it to be able to go with multiple outfits, then why not go for mixed strands? We haven't done them in bundles, so you can buy them in individual strands, but you could mix up the colours and do a multicoloured one, which will make it even more multifunctional, because then you'll be able to wear it with any of your colours. Lidl have Greek Day today. No way. Linda, thank you. I don't even know if we have a Lidl near here. We haven't been going out. There's a little co-op in our village. We only moved in the week before lockdown, actually. So we haven't been able to venture out at all. We have just stayed home, other than obviously having to go to work. So the majority of our food shops have just been coming from our little co-op. It's just the garage in the village. So I have been avoiding the main ones. I think I've been to Sainsbury's twice since it all started. There is one by the studios. So if I need to get any big bits that we can't get in our local co-op, I do that on a day when I'm at the studio, because then it's all kind of one trip. Have to say, I hate doing a food shop at the moment. I find it very overwhelming. Got my mask that I wear, but I just don't like it. I want to get home. So I tend to whiz around as quickly as I can and get out. So I am going to Google if there is a Lidl near. Oh my goodness, I'm going to make John's day. And I'll go and see if we can get some bits and pieces. That'll be amazing. I still have some of the metallic thread left over from the knitting kit that Kitty did before. Yeah, Kitty does knitting. There you go, Knitty Kitty. Does some beautiful knitting. I can't knit, so this is my alternative take on using these threads. When I started working with her not so long ago, she said, we've got these metallic threads, what can you do with them? I said, I'll crochet with those. She said, good, because I can't crochet, but I knit. So I said, well, I knit, I can't knit, but I'll crochet. So we merge our talents together. I think that's what's so fun as well. People will use the same materials and look at them and make such different things from them. And with a kit like this, if you wanted to make something even longer, you could actually just chain stitch or single stitch. One of them is American, isn't it? I can't remember if chain or single is American. You can tell I learnt from an American kit. Oh, Marie says, I have to do my shopping tomorrow. Scary. Yeah, I hate it. Stay safe. I go armed with my anti-bac, my face mask. I've got some really great face masks that I bought from a local lady actually on Facebook, and they have filters in them as well. So I am going out with a bit of confidence that I'm either doing my bit to not spread it or to try and stay as safe as I can. I'm surprised that people still aren't wearing masks, to be honest with you. Even if it gives me 0.1% more safety, then, or to slow that spread down, then I'm going to take it for sure. So I have 3 masks. John's got 2. I posted some to Beth for her because she's been going to the park with just one of her friends. Bless them, they stay so far apart. They almost sit on opposite ends of the field, and when she goes on a walk, they actually walk on opposite sides of the road. Bless her, she does so well abiding by the rules. So I bought her one as well, just so that she can go out with a little bit more confidence as well. But socially distanced, she is doing so well with. It's so hard for them, isn't it? I mean, locking up a teenager and telling them you can't see your friends, but she's done amazingly well, and now she is starting to do just a little walk once a week with one of her mates, which is nice. But FaceTimes and Zoom and all that kind of thing, I think we've mastered and really seen the benefits of just staying in touch with people, which is really nice. So something like this is going to be something that can pass a little bit of time for you. I'm nearly at the end, guys, and I'm going to show you how to attach your thread on. So it doesn't take too long. And as you can see, it's something that you don't have to be completely engrossed in. New to it, you're going to concentrate on your stitches a little bit more than I am. Please excuse the pinky fingers, just a little bit of dye is coming off of the thread as I'm working with it. It's not off the beads themselves. I'm obviously just having a hot day. Personal summer, as my mum would say. I'm a bit young for them, but it's just the heat. Right, nearly there. Last few beads. So you can see you get into a really nice little swing. Nice little pattern repeat, bringing those beads up and nearly at the end. Yes, you could put it up where I got the masks from. Yes, I can. It's a lady on Facebook. She's sewing them, but she also sells the filters with them. She lives in Bedfordshire, which is where my family are, and they sent me the link and she posted out. So they were £7 each. And an extra £1 if she had to post them. So yeah, I will. I'll put the link up. There's lots of people doing them, and because it had the filters in, I just had a little bit more confidence in them. I think the filters are good for up to 5 wears, and each mask comes with 2. I've also been reading recently that you can use coffee filters as some of the filters in them as well if you can't get the medical masks. So that's quite a good idea. Okay, so going to chop off my thread. Now to finish off, so I've got all of my beads in here. This is going to be a super nice long one. Let me just bring the light down a little bit. Got a really nice long one. And when you're finished, just pull that thread all the way through, okay? And that will now secure it, so that's not going anywhere. And can you see you've got this beautiful long length of all the beads. I haven't done it in any pattern, just randomly knotted them on, and I've got my knot down at the bottom as well. So adding on a nice little feature like this, I think, is just going to give us a little bit more detail, and I'm just going to knot it on. So straight through the middle, you can see this is the end that I haven't prepped. So it does have that little frayed edge. Let's pop this down to our beads. So I'm just going to knot this into place, overhand knot. I'm going to do 2 or 3 just to secure it really nice and tightly. Bringing that down as near to the bead as I can. I still want to be able to have a little bit of movement on it. I don't want it to be too rigid. So let's do 2 knots on there. And I actually use my nail polish as the glue as well, because I find you get that little bit more precision and it just soaks into the thread really well. Probably left that a little bit too far, but that'll be okay. Any clear nail polish, I'm going to drop a dollop of that onto there, and then I'm going to put this in because this little feature, this is the sterling silver little clasp that I was showing you at the beginning, but it's more of just a little connector. So I'm going to close it and connect it in first. Bring this through and tie my knot, because this isn't going to come undone, your clasp. It's just to have a decorative feature, and that would be really nice. This is a posh old necklace, isn't it? Sterling silver feature connector and tiger eye beads. Very self-indulgent, but if anyone deserves a treat at the moment, we do. So that is going to do me nicely. Okay, I'm going to let that dry before we cut it off, but you can see that's going to give us a lovely necklace. Sit that aside, let that dry. Okay. If you don't want to do anything that is too involved and you want to get sheer volume, mass makes, value for money out of your tiger eye beads, you can make rings with them. I'm just trying to find, somewhere on my desk is my Easy Eye needle, and I've lost it in all my beads. Here we go. Okay, so if you bought my toolkit, everyone's saying they love the clasp. I know, it's so beautiful, isn't it? Sarah, how would you finish off not using the clasp? Just tie the 2 ends together. So with my blue one here, I wonder if I can even find my... I don't think I'll even be able to find... Oh yeah, here we go. So here I've just got a tiny little tail hanging out there. I'm going to chop him off because he'll annoy me. It's probably because I was waiting for it to dry. You just bring both of your ends of thread together and knot them. And that will give you an infinity. So that's going to give you a lariat. So that's when it doesn't have a clasp, it's just super long. And if you are sensitive to metals, if you don't have your sterling silver, you can't wear any of your metal clasps. I'm just going to undo this knot. Then that's going to be perfect, because you will just have purely your beads and your thread. And can you see where I put this on a moment ago? I did that little knotted effect. You can just undo that knot and then have your longer necklace without any clasp, and then you can wear that several ways. Kieran is asking where my toolkit is. It's on the Totally Beads website. My toolkit here is empty because I'm using everything at the moment, but you get a ruler, a bead sizer, you also get some scissors, you'll get a bead scoop, and you'll see I use these a lot to decant my seed beads and everything. You'll get a tube which has 3 of your Easy Eye needles in it, which is what I'm going to use now for my stretch elastic. You also get your round nose, your flat nosed, and your cutters all in there as well. So I'm going to use one of my Easy Eye needles. Now these are fantastic if you struggle threading needles, but can you see the whole body of it opens up? And then I'm just going to take my stretch elastic. I'm using a flat stretch elastic, so it's a floss, not a gel, because I want it to be able to go through 4mm beads. Again, my top tip from the beginning, pick up that bead, roll it around your fingers until you find the hole. Just mind your Easy Eye needles because they are sharp on both ends. It's basically 2 really fine pieces of metal bound together. But as you can see, they are going through my elastic and my needle, no problem. So that's my 4mm beads. And then I'm going to add in, oh my goodness, look at these. I'm going to add in the sterling silver. Now these have a sort of stardust finish to them. I don't even know if the camera's going to pick it up, but they are so beautiful. I'm going to put 3 of these in the very middle of my ring. Let's go for 3. I'm just designing off the cuff here. I don't know if you just heard my stomach rumble, but if you did, I'm so sorry. God, if it's not the dog barking, it's my stomach rumbling. Can you see there? I'm just going to put these so that they will be at the very front of my ring, which will give a really beautiful finish. And then a couple more beads. I think we've done quite well for the tow truck not to turn up so far. So everyone is nice and quiet so far. Apart from my stomach, I clearly need breakfast. Had a busy morning already, so I didn't manage to get anything to eat before I came on. Okay, so when you're measuring up stretch elastic, and if you want to just get sheer volume and value for money out of these sets, imagine how many of these you're going to make. So if you are catching up with makes for bead fairs, for when we are out of lockdown and things maybe start again, maybe you are thinking about getting ahead with Christmas presents or birthday presents, something like this, your beads, you've got 90 of them in your 4 mil. How many am I going to use here for a ring? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, plus a few of my sterling silver spacers. You're going to be able to get loads out of these kits. Can you see I'm just marrying it up on both sides? So I still want to add a few more beads. With a ring, you want to make sure that the beads will sit so that they are touching each other, no gaps, when it's around your finger. Same for memory wire. Making rings with stretch elastic is ideal if any of you suffer with things like arthritis, where you might maybe get swollen joints. And that's the reason my poor mum can't wear her special ring anymore either, because her hands just get too swollen, depending on like medication and things like that as well. So a stretch elastic ring is ideal because it's going to be able to go over your knuckles, so the biggest part, and then down to the base of your finger. So I'm just going to bring these around. Now I've made it a little bit too big, so I'm going to remove just 1 bead and we'll see how we go with that. And you can see your Easy Eye needles make it so easy to thread your elastic and to get that through. I would never... Yeah, that's going to be good. Okay, I would never be able to thread these beads onto the stretch elastic with without using a needle. Okay, so I'm just going to cut this off now, so that I can create my knot. And then I'm going to do a surgeon's knot. So for any of you who know your knots, it's a reef knot with a little bit of extra strength. So I'm going to take my left strand and go over the right and pull this down. Then I'm going to take my right strand and go over the left. Now I can see some naughty beads have jumped into my knot there down at the bottom. So I'm just going to make sure that my knot doesn't have any beads in it. So left over right, right over left. That is a reef knot. A reef knot, when it is pulled apart, has more strength. When you push it together, it undoes. So what we actually want to do is just give this a little bit more extra strength. I'm going to take the tail and I'm going to wrap it around this loop, so this circle of my knot. I think I'm going to go twice with this one, just because it's going to be on and off my finger all the time. It's going to need some good security, and again we can use our nail polish on that as well. So pull that main body down so that those beads come really nice and close together and there are no gaps, and then I'm going to pull the knot really nice and tightly. Now with a floss elastic you get a bit more strength than with your normal ones. So because this is a reef knot, I'm also going to pull it apart, which will strengthen it and just bring it together. How pretty is that? Look. And you can make matching bracelets, obviously, and everything to go with this as well. Now, for a bit of extra strength, if you wanted to, I reckon we can probably hide some of these tails in here as well. So let's thread my elastic again. Now, I haven't tested this, so I'm hoping I'll have enough space. I'm going to take my needle through 2 of my beads. Yeah, I can get that through. Lovely. What I've now done is just pulled that tail through 2 extra beads. So my knot is here. I've pulled it through 2 extra because when I glue it, I want this to have really nice security. When you cut off your elastic, a lot of the time, if it's right next to the knot, even if you've glued it and it's a really strong knot, over the years, it can come undone. So I'm going to make this so that I know it's super secure. Oh, I'm going to thread the other tail in. So always try and come away from the knot as much as you can. What's the difference between floss elastic and normal beading elastic? You can get like jelly elastic. So it's the jelly cord. Personally, I find that that doesn't last as long and it can break quite easily. With these flat elastics, you can get them in some lovely colours as well. I just find them more secure. So when I'm doing something like this, like your jelly elastics are fine to make your stretch elastic bracelets when you're starting, or, you know, if you're not using precious beads that you want to keep really good. For something like that, it's okay. But for something like this, I want to know that I've got the best. Okay, so I have got my knot. My threads are going through. I'm going to put a little bit of clear nail polish on there. And then I'm going to pull that knot into a bead. So I'm just going to hold that tail and you'll actually feel it pop. And it's now popped into that bead, which means that will be completely hidden. Once that varnish has dried, that is going to be, look at that, it's going to be secured in there and you won't see that knot at all. And then I'm just going to roll it quite gently because I don't want that knot to come out. And then you've got a beautiful semi-precious ring with sterling silver spacer beads that's going to match your new fancy lariat necklace. Easy peasy. Obviously, you can make bracelets in exactly the same way. I just wanted to do a ring because if you are using these beads and you want to get value for money, making a ring is going to be... Sorry, the dog's asleep on my feet. I'm just trying to... There you go. All right. I'm trying to move without waking him up, honestly. So then you've got your lovely necklaces. So I'm going to leave that to dry a little bit more before I chop it off. But you can multi-wear them, multi-row them, and you've got something really special for the summer with your lovely beads. And of course, you have your ring as well. Oh, Kieran says, you and Kitty are so talented. Thank you for all the live tutorials. You are more than welcome. I'm glad. Camille, do you want to... Bless, Earl has featured in my videos so much recently. Oh, he's just moved. I was going to show you him. We've done well to last until now, until he starts talking to everyone. Sorry to all you cats and dogs that are now going ballistic. I really hope you enjoyed today. Something a little bit different. It's using some of your other skills. All right, Kelly. It's using some of your other skills if you already know how to crochet. It's just mixing your medias, getting the most out of your skill and the most out of your materials. You don't always have to use things in the same way. No postman yet, Margaret. I don't know what he heard. So you can use obviously something like this for a really beautiful make. Now you will have Kitty again tomorrow. I will be back on Saturday or Sunday. If you pop onto the Facebook page, there is a list of groups. You've got events on there. On the events, we always pop up what technique or what materials we're going to be using, so you can have a little look there and be able to know what's happening every day. Hello, my love. You'll be able to see what's happening every day and you'll be able to show that you're interested or attending. That way you'll also get a reminder when it's coming up, so you're not going to miss any, but it's every day at 10 o'clock without fail. So Kitty tomorrow morning, I'm going to have another lie-in. which will be nice. And I will see you at the weekend. Please do share pictures of anything that you are making. There is also the Totally Handmade Facebook group. We've got hundreds of you on there. I think it's now over 1,000, and you're all sharing your pictures of everything that you are making, which is lovely. That's exactly what Kitty and I would like to see, that you are getting something from them, which is really lovely. Thank you so much for joining me. Lovely morning. I've really enjoyed just sitting and crafting with you. I hope you've enjoyed it as well. Oh, hey, so that I don't get stressed today, let's relieve some of that stress. These are going back on. I'm going to need them. There we go. Lovely. Enjoy, everyone, and I will see you soon. Take care.